I think the executive's in a bad place, there's no doubt, but whose interest would be served in collapsing it? No one. In fact, they get the blame, and that would cost them at the next election. So they will trundle into the next election. Now, there could be some tactical thing as you approach the next election, let's say 2 months out, that they can manufacture a big argument and collapse it then just before the election. So they go into the election on the basis of the big argument they've just had, and that'll polarise opinion, and that might suit people on the the DUP and Sinn Féin in particular, and TV maybe. So they could do that tactically near the election. But the idea that because relations are so poor, or because their performance is so poor, that they'll collapse it now, no chance whatsoever, because it's in no one's interest. But you couldn't underestimate the difficulties they're facing. The relations aren't good in the executive office. And if you look at any department, they have problems that they cannot fix, that they're finding it even difficult to address. And I mean all the departments. Obviously, health waiting list is enormous. Even the Department of the Economy, the climate targets are going nowhere. Department of Not Social Communities, the housing's a debacle. Even finance, one of the tough guy negotiators, John O'Dowd, he seems to have hit a brick wall negotiating with the Treasury on extra money. Dara, the minister's making great noises, but he's got Loughnane and he's got nowhere to go because they won't let him move on any of this environmental stuff. And eventually the speeches cease to have meaning. Naomi Long's gone nowhere in justice. There's no money to pay the police. There's no money to pay the IT, revelation, compensation. Everywhere you look, infrastructure, the A5, Paul Given's wrapped up in all sorts of controversies in education. Maybe he's trying to do too much, actually. But everywhere you go, even though the individual ministers may well be trying hard, they are facing intractable problems. For some of them, the collapse of the institution might be a merciful release, but it's not going to happen because it's not in anybody's interest.